Hi everybody, Trainer Sam from Salem Kettlebell Training. Just wanted to give a little update on how things are proceeding here at the gym in the presence of the coronavirus pandemic. First of all, I have to say thank you for those individuals who have elected to continue to train with me, doing so remotely via programming, through email, and coaching through demonstration videos on my YouTube channel. And second of all, just to Salem in general, I feel like along with the governor's decision to institute a stay-at-home order, that Salem is doing a great job of doing so, of keeping ourselves safe and healthy. And that's really number one concern right now, is public health and safety. Given the fact that the pathophysiology of this virus is not well understood yet, and in keeping with both the governor's recommendations for now and sort of what has been recommended by the federal government of a 30-day stay-at-home order, I don't see us opening in the month of April. But we can certainly make do with what we have access to at our homes. There are many ways to continue not only the training process, but to be healthy and to treat yourself well in general. So for me, I have ulcerative colitis, which is an autoimmune disorder. There is some indicator that those with previous existing conditions are at a greater risk. But just this morning, Dr. Fauci said that in spite of the trends of this virus to affect those with pre-existing conditions or the elderly, that in fact, there are outlying cases that don't really fit in with any of those. People who are in the at-risk population who have tested positive for the virus but exhibited few or no symptoms, and those who are outside of the at-risk population who have been seriously affected. So for everybody's sake, to continue to be healthy ourselves and to keep our community healthy, I don't foresee opening in April. Let's talk a little bit about overall health. Sure, there are the recommendations of isolation, social distancing, self-quarantine, hand washing, don't touch your face, cough into your elbow. There are a lot of sort of acute things that we can do for our health, but there are also some chronic things that we can do for our health, those things that we can continue to do throughout our lives that are good for us, that are lessons that are coming out of this self-quarantine. One is to stay home when you're sick. Do what you can to prevent the spread of disease by simply staying home. Is there an underinsured or uninsured healthcare problem in the country? Yes, there is. But the public health is our civic duty, and we have to stay home if we're sick. That's something that can come out of this and be more seriously considered at any time, not just in the presence of a pandemic. Besides staying home, I think this experience has taught us what can be done remotely. Working remotely may be sort of an isolationist experience, but how many meetings have we all gone to that could have been emails, as demonstrated by the fact that meetings are being conducted via email or instant messenger. These are things that we need to consider for our long-term health as well. Home is where the heart is. Generally, I feel like we can be in a better mental state if we're working from the place that we're comfortable at. That said, I'm here at the gym because I have 3 children, and working from home for me is not the best option, but I'm also the only person in the gym right now. So it's essentially just extended isolation to a different location. We are still allowed to go outside. We're still allowed to grocery shop. We're still allowed to have social gatherings within our family unit. This could go one of 2 ways. Either the family law attorneys could have a boom after this experience is over, or we could become a more closely bonded family unit and actually start to have an understanding of who each other are outside of social media and public experiences. As far as grocery shopping is concerned, with the closure of restaurants to do dine-in business, my hope is that we're reducing the frequency of our meals out, supporting those restaurants that we consider dear to us, the people that we know who are in the food industry, by continuing to order takeout, but for the most part, learning how to cook and provide for yourselves in the home, which is generally going to lead to better portion control, simpler meals that don't have a lot of extra ingredients in them, a reduction in processed foods. Hopefully that's the case, and we're coming out of this with a better understanding of how our food directly affects our health. Getting outside, while not always easy, and especially in inclement weather, could be sort of a meh, is tremendous for your mental health. In terms of overall wellness, it's hard to beat going for a walk. And this is something that a lot of us can do without increasing our risk of exposure to the COVID-19 virus. So go for walks, eat whole foods, stay home when you're sick, work remotely when possible so that you can spend more time with your family. How are any of these things going to be bad practices when we come out of this self-quarantine? In terms of strength training, there's one tool that we all have ready access to, and that's our body. It may not be as effective at overall strength building as training with a barbell, or as effective at training conditioning or strengthening as a kettlebell or a pair of kettlebells. But I encourage you to, even if you are training with a barbell or kettlebells at home, to, on your days between, incorporate some body weight training. Either through just going for a walk, which again is great for overall wellness, or by incorporating some modified push-up, some kind of squat or single leg squat progression. I've got videos on the YouTube channel of hinges, squats, and pushes that can all be performed with body weight, and I'll include those links in upcoming emails. You can at least maintain strength if not build strength, and at least maintain health, if not improve your health, over the course of this pandemic and the isolation that's been recommended as a result. I firmly believe that we can come out of this stronger. Hopefully our federal, state, county, and municipal governments can all come together so that the economic downturn is as minimal as possible, such that those industries that have been most affected, and I'm not including mine because honestly, I've had great retention of students during this period, but there are other service industries that are being deeply affected by this. And those industries are made up of small businesses, and those small businesses are made up of families and individuals who are going to be really struggling through this. So my hope is that property management companies and commercial lending institutions, as well as government agencies, can come together to minimize the economic damage, which of course happens on a larger scale, but let's remember that it happens on a personal scale as well. Because if we can maintain our physical and mental health through this, we deserve to maintain our financial health as well. That's all for now. Big take-home biscuits. Looking like April's going to be completely closed. Go for walks. Work remotely. Deepen your relationships with your immediate family. And take care of yourselves in strength and health.